guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So today I'm going to do a recipe that I was inspired to do by I'm Still Workin'. She has a channel of amazing wealth of information over on her channel. Canning and cooking and using her food storage and gardening and sharing experiments and you name it. She's very, very good at articulating what she needs to get across to you, and so it's always helpful. And so anyway, she made a recipe the other day, and it was cabbage rolls, and I absolutely adore them. My mother used to make them, I've made them, and I thought this recipe sounded really interesting to me, and so I'm going to make her recipe. And we're going to do it the easy way, because you know it's really not something you think about having in the summertime, except that that's when we get our cabbage. I got some cabbage at Farmer's Market. Here it's too early and I didn't plant any, so unfortunately. But I've got some organic grass-fed ground beef, and I'm super excited to share this recipe with you. For those of you that aren't familiar with I'm Still Workin', please go check out her channel. She's just, I love her channel, and I am excited every time I see that she's uploaded something. So I'm going to get started on the recipe, and I hope it brings you along for the ride. Come on, let's do it. Glad you decided to stay along for the ride. Okay, in this bowl I have 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and I will put a slide with the recipe on it for you, so you will have that, because I'm Still Workin' provided that for me. And so anyways, I know that makes it easier. I don't always have time to sit down and type all that out, but especially if I just made it up. Anyways, going back to the recipe, this is 1.5 pounds of organic grass-fed ground beef, and I'm trying in every way, whenever possible, if I can afford to and have access to better food choices, I make them. It's still a very reasonable dish to make, because it looks like it's going to make a lot. So I've got my ground beef here, and it then calls for 1 egg. And this is about 15% fat. And it calls for onion, 1/2 cup of onion. Now I'm gonna say, okay, that's 1/2 cup. I'll leave the rest for something else I'm doing. And that egg could not be fresher. It also calls for salt and pepper. About 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, she says. We need a teaspoon of salt. So because I'm grinding it, I'm just gonna eyeball it. We love peppers, so it'll be just fine. I am so excited about this. It's kind of been a rough couple of days waiting till I could get to the store that I knew had the meat that I wanted to use. And I also, the sauerkraut, this particular sauerkraut is amazing. And I had to go to World Market to purchase that. I usually keep about 3 or 4, but anyways. And then at this point, you're gonna add 3/4 cup of instant rice. I'm using instant brown rice. Now, I would imagine that you could use leftover rice, you could use parboiled rice if you wanted to cook it longer. If you were going to do a solar cook, I'd probably use parboiled rice, because it's going to absorb into, you know, the meat, the liquids will. So, we usually cook things longer out on the solar oven. And then I've got the cabbage leaves. They're over there cooling off in front of the fan. You're just going to get in here with your hands. And it really it's not a over-seasoned meat mixture at all. Just onion and egg for binding to keep it, and they'll be like little meatloaf presents. I'm just excited. My mom used to make this. I've made it. I haven't made it in a very, very long time, and I'll have to dig out my recipe and compare it. It sounds so similar. I think that's why it makes my mouth water. So, here we go. And you're kind of picking up those little pieces of rice. And then you're going to turn these into little balls as you wrap your cabbage leaves. So I'm going to go wash my hands and start making my little packages. I'm going to count out my cabbage leaves so I know how big to make them. Okay, and I'll be back. Wasn't that easy? And it's going to be delicious. Okay, off goes the camera. All right, so we're back. These leaves, they stayed pretty uniform all the way down. So I'll roll a couple for you on camera, and then I'll get the rest of them rolled up. I did throw the rest of that small onion in the bottom of the pan. I don't have anything that I can foresee in the near future using that before that would go bad. And I don't like to waste anything, so I don't think it's going to change the recipe at all. So some of these leaves are bigger than others. And I just want to put a nice, this is so exciting, nice bit of meat right there. And look how pretty that is. Just a perfect little package. And this one will be smaller, obviously. So it's okay. Maybe you want a big one and two small ones, or a big one and a small one. It's so nice that cabbage is so versatile. Actually, that one needs another one. Sometimes if you get a break, go ahead and just wrap it again. Okay, so I'll roll one more for you. And I kind of like them oblong, probably because that's the way my mother taught me to do it. But you could do them round, you can do them any way you can, as long as you can wrap them up in this cabbage leaf. And yum. Okay, so that one's going down in there. I'm going to wash my hands really quick again. And we'll get rolling on the rest of them. I'll bring you back as soon as I get them all rolled up. Let me show you what I got so far. Don't those look good? Yum. Okay, so we'll get the rest done. And I'll bring you back and we'll see what happens. So there they are, 10 of them. So I obviously had, that's all the leaves I had that were manageable, and I really only peeled 2, and I had a couple from the very center that were really tiny. So next time, now that I've got this, how much this is going to make, because you could make smaller ones. These will be wonderful. Honest and truly, 2 of these would be a meal. So you could feed 5 people with this pretty inexpensively, I might add. So you could use diced tomatoes out of your garden, and I almost did that because I had some sitting here that could use some help me put me in a dish, but I decided I'd go exactly by the recipe the first time, and then I'll tweak it if I want to the next time. So now that we've got them all in there, and I'm not going to heat up the house, so I'm going to take this outside. I was going to do it in the solar cooker, but I decided I'm going to do it on the outside barbecue. Has a burner. So I'm going to add in my 2 cans of diced tomatoes. And you could, if you didn't have diced, change it up. Make it something else. Okay. 2 cans of tomato sauce. Yum. And we're going to get some water to rinse these cans. And what I do is I'll fill the first one about 3/4 of the way. Get my can, fill the first one over here, pour it into the second one, back into the first one. So you really get everything off the sides of the jar. Or the can. I do it with the jars too. So we're going to pour that in because it needs enough moisture to get busy. And then I've got my big, this is 1 pound, 14 ounces. So it's more than enough to equate 2 15-ounce cans of sauerkraut. This just happens to be my favorite sauerkraut. So we're gonna put that jar of kraut in there if we can get it out. Come on. Well, sorry about that. Maybe. They packed it in here really good, which is good. You get your money's worth. I don't think this is the cheapest sauerkraut out there, but in my opinion, it's the best. I just love it. So we're gonna get that in there. And you're gonna kind of lift up on your rolls, like she said, to get some of the juice up underneath. I just don't want to damage them. So I'm going to get this out on the burner, and let's get it to a good simmer before I bring you back, and we'll let you see what's going on. All right, you guys, this is bringing you out. We're at about the 3/4 of the way done, and hot. It's windy out here, so I apologize if it bugs you. But look at that. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. And I'm thinking that part of my pan, I'm trying to move them around without breaking anything. I may have to take them in the house to finish them, but I'm trying not to. It's so hot, and it's just now starting to cool off. And they look beautiful, and I can tell you, as I'm doing my garden chores tonight, I'm like starving. They just are, they smell so good. They're exactly what I remember, and they're exactly what I had hoped for. Now, oh, look at how nice those are. Oh, yum. Some people do these with pork. Some people, I mean, you could do this with venison. I don't know why you couldn't do this with any kind of meat protein. Chicken, turkey. You know, you just season it the way you like it and go from there. It's a great way to get cabbage into your diet. Cabbage is extremely good for you, and so is sauerkraut. So we're going to let this cook a little while longer. I want to make sure that I get everything well done, and I'll bring you in, and I'm gonna actually show you a taste test. I am so excited, and thank you, I'm still working. She's amazing. You guys got to go check her out. All right, you guys, it's done, and I'm just gonna let it cool down because I know for a fact that's really, really hot, and I can't possibly take a bite of that yet. But I'm gonna go ahead and dish one of these rolls up. I'm pretty sure that one of them is gonna be plenty for me. It smells so good. I can't wait. Anyway, I'm gonna dish one of these up on a plate, and I'll bring you back for the taste test. All right, but I gotta let it cool down. I can't just burn my tongue. Does that look good or what? Okay. And one of these is more than enough for me. So really and truly, that whole dish could have been enough for, oh my gosh, a couple of girls like me and a couple of guys, like 3 or 4 guys. I don't know. 2 of these and some sauce is going to be plenty for a big guy. So I'm going to cut into this, and then I'm going to show you the taste test. And they just, look how sweet that is. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't even tell you how beautiful and how wonderful they smell. Look at that. Now there's something to behold. Okay, so I'm gonna actually show you a taste test in person, first time, and I'll take a picture of this and I'll be right back. Guys, I'm back and I'm excited. I haven't ever tried food on camera with you, so bear with me. It could be it could be interesting. But I let this cool down so it's a palatable temperature, and I want to make sure that I get a bite of the meat and the cabbage. And these are exactly what I remember as far as the smells. And got some cabbage and some of the some of the sauce. There you go. Got a little tomato there. I don't want too big a bite. Okay, we're gonna do our best here. Okay. Wow. That is delicious. That is exactly what I remember and what I love. The tanginess from the sauerkraut is just a special touch to this dish. The sweetness and acidity from the tomatoes. I really could see you adding, if you wanted to, you could use different protein and make your meat more flavorful. Although this meat is delicious, I will say it's the sauce, as Imstillworkin said. But I could see putting carrots in this if you had an overabundance of carrots from the garden as well. Tomatoes at the end of the season, cabbage. I mean, it's a great way. Zucchini. Put a plethora of vegetables in here, and then choose your meat protein. And wow, this is awesome. Very good. It's super delicious. I hope you guys go over to Imstillworkin, check out our channel, try this recipe because it's awesome, and play with it. Make it your own. Anyway, I hope this inspires you. I hope it brings you back. I hope that if you like this, give me a thumbs up. And if you really like it, post it on your Facebook, Google Plus, or Twitter, and share it with your friends. All right, guys. God bless.